I've been thinking about the actual reason why I am not fully satisfied by the results that we got against Mamelodi Sundowns on Saturday. And it's actually something that I didn't look at before the game was played. What is that thing? Well, let's talk about that and give some player ratings. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. I'm a Khosi Football Club. Okay, guys, so Chiefs play Sundowns, and before the game started on Friday, in fact, I sat here on this very bench and said Chiefs will defend for their lives, should defend for their lives, and after that, score their chances when they get them. We created one good chance and we scored the chance, and that was it. So, Mpilo, why is this the problem? You know, sitting there behind that goal and only watching Sundowns attack and Chiefs just defending, there's just something that didn't sit well with me. I will say I understand Uguti, Chiefs and Sundowns are not on the same level, but they're also not on like 6 different levels because yes, Sundowns are good, but I don't think they are that good to a point Yoguti you can be so defensive the entire game and not even lay a glove on them. Because my problem with Kaizer Chiefs right now and the current coach that we have is not that they defended against Sundowns. It's the fact that we were not playing well against the Chippa United in our first game. We did not play well against Sundowns in the first leg. We had 3 defensive midfielders. I mean, in the league, right? We were not good against Galaxy. We ended up losing. We did not play well against Amazulu. We won the game though. So now what I see now is this recurring theme, Yoguti, we defend and that's just how we set up. And to me, it's like, bazotabantu yampilo, but we're winning these games. Why are you busy talking about Chiefs not winning? Why are you being negative? I grew up, and most of you grew up like this. Kaizer Chiefs was dominating teams. And as much as equivalent Yoguti, there are game plans and this and that. But the thing is, we are a big team. And I know people are quick to refer to, oh, but look at this, Madrid doesn't dominate Barcelona, but you are just isolating one game. If Madrid is playing Valladolid, they are going to dominate position. If Madrid is playing against Getafe, they are going to dominate position. Most of the games that Madrid, even though they are not playing as an offensive team, they are not going to defend all those games. People are quick to point out, look at how Madrid played against PSG, look at how Madrid played against Chelsea or Man City. That's because they were playing against a team or teams that are better than them in position. But usually in any other game that they play, they are dominant. Chiefs has gotten beyond the point of we are defensive against certain teams or we are cautious against against certain teams, but it's now we are defensive against any other team. And when I look at Midfield's Bafana, we have seen him coach. It wasn't really that attack football. It was always conservative and let's hit them on a counter. I have not seen him play that football that makes me say, oh wow, he's doing the things. So this thing of people saying, oh no, Pelo, Chiefs, this is the first step, they are just rebuilding. You remember one of the reasons why Mlifintseg has been appointed is because of the fact that there is continuity, which means it's supposed to be building on the foundation laid by Atazwane last season. But the only thing that I see that is similar between what Untsegi does to what Atazwane did is just the formation. Everything else seems to be different. So what we are building, it doesn't look like we are building. And I'm not saying, oh, he should do what Zwane did, he's horrible because he's not doing that. No, I'm saying if you're going to say it's continuity, then there should be more similar things than there are differences. And right now I'm seeing more differences than similarities. I'm seeing which was still conceding a lot of chances just with a better defense, and the keeper is making way more saves. But going forward, we are so blunt and we're not creating anything. And that worries me because every game that we're gonna go to, I am never sure now. Like if you've noticed since the season started, I don't give my predictions. I don't say Chiefs is going to win. Like one game that I thought Chiefs were definitely going to. Two, Chippa United, I thought we were going to win. TS Galaxy, I thought we were going to win. I said that to myself. I was scared about Sundowns. I was scared about Stellenbosch. In all these games, ngiyang saba. And that's not healthy for me. Ukuthi every time my team is playing, a big team such as Kaizer Chiefs, whenever we're playing, I must be praying and hoping for a miracle to happen. Growing up, it was Chiefs is playing against this team. Oh, how many goals is Chiefs going to score? Now, Chiefs is playing against Amazulu. Ish, Amazulu. Has Amazulu bafethu anohana mub. Has Amazulu manje. Aisha nontul. I never thought like that. I didn't. I knew ukuthi Chiefs were going to crush fools. But now I'm scared the Chiefs might get crushed, and I'm hoping that I hope this team plays the high line because Dupree can exploit them. Now, saying a hope. Guys, it's not healthy for me, and I'm not ranting. I'm just expressing my concern because I know some of you think, oh, the team played well, which perplexes me, to be honest, because I talk to people after the game, then they're talking about, oh no, the team played well. I'm like, played well. Yes, the Sundowns, if they didn't lose with Tembazwan, Sundowns were going to do more. And people are going to say, oh, Sundowns had more position and they did nothing with that position. Did they really need to do something with the position? Because also you are forgetting Uguti, Peterson made a lot of saves. They are forgetting that, Abantu. They are forgetting Uguti, there were clearances by defense. People are forgetting all those other things, Uguti. Our team is just playing at home in a competition that has to do with away goal rule. So Sundowns is just chilling there thinking, you know what, let's keep the ball. Because how are we going to set up now in the second leg? Because we have to score. We have to score first, because if we score first, then if Sundowns equalizes, fine. Then we're back to normal, because if we score the second goal, they score the second goal, then the away goals rule is going to be in our favor. But as it stands, we have to be the ones who score the first goal, because if we don't, if the match ends 1-1 again in the second leg, then we're screwed, because away goals rule. If the match ends 0-0 in the second leg, away goals rule is gonna kill us and we'll be done. And I'm seeing people out here talking about, hey, Sundowns said they were gonna crush us, but now they didn't even win. They are now talking about position. Why are we celebrating the fact that Chiefs defended 90 minutes? I don't get it. We are a big team, and slowly but surely, there is someone who said this in the fan reaction videos, that Chiefs is looking more and more like a big brand rather than a big team. And now we are just holding on to the name Yoguti Kaizer Chiefs. But we are not playing like Kaizer Chiefs. And we are not addressing that, because now we are too fixated on the fact that, oh, we won 2-0 against Stellenbosch. We are better than Stellenbosch. We are better than them. We should be destroying them in any case. Oh, we are celebrating Guti, we won 3-0 against Amazulu. As it should be. We should be crushing Amazulu any day, all day, twice on Sundays. We're losing against Abu TS Galaxy. We're drawing against Chippa United. And if we continue winning these games, we just kind of avoiding the main issue, which is we are actually not playing well. We are just winning games. And we are accepting mediocrity. And yet, you go to Kaizer Chiefs, you go to Naturena, you'll find big writings that say driven to excel. To excel in what? In just getting 20% of position and scoring one goal. No, guys. I understand. If a team plays bad in a final and they win, Valley finals are not supposed to be played. They're supposed to be won. But if there are two legs in a cup match, it's scary. But if we're going to quickly look at how the team set up, it raises another concern to me. So we have a goalkeeper, Brendan Peterson, fine. Then the centre back pairing, no worries, right? And then we come to right back. We play Zitakwinik. I've said this, I'm going to say it again. I don't have a problem with Zitakwinik as a person and as a defender. I will make that very clear. Zitakwinik, when defending, he will give you a lot, right? He will give you a lot. But look at who he plays ahead of. He plays ahead of Uri Frosler. Uri Frosler has been our consistent player. Yabona nje mangarank abadlali be-Chiefs so far this season who have consistently given good performances. You will have a player like Dupree. You will have a Modi. You will have Peterson. You will have Frosler. You have Castillo. Those players are in our top 5 players, and then obviously Umsimango balandela nabo afterwards. But if we're just looking at players who have been performing, Frosler is there. He was played out of position against Stellenbosch. He played at left back very well. Yet Hlanti and Kunika both play against him. Why? Why are they playing ahead of him? Because we can talk about Hlanti making that mistake which he made, by the way, against the Pirates, because Umthetwa waphuma Hlanti in that semi-final in Nedbank Cup and headed the ball. The same way the ball was crossed by Sundowns is the same way that was crossed by Pirates, and Hlanti was caught sleeping. But once again, that's an individual error that we can look at and say, how got umdala now, you shouldn't be doing these things. You also shouldn't be doing Guti, watch a video this long and not subscribe to the channel. So please do subscribe to the channel, help me reach more people like you. So it concerns me Uguti Ufrosla plays very well and then it doesn't get picked, because that means now me performing well doesn't mean I have a guaranteed place in the team. And also it means when we're transitioning forward and we now have the ball, you have to trust Ukweneka, who, as we established against Stellenbosch, did not give us anything going forward. He will mark, he will defend, but when we go forward, he will not give you anything. Especially if you are playing Uhlanti and Ukweneka at the same time. Because Uhlanti, they tuck him in when we are attacking whenever we get the chance. And Ukunika will also not give you much going forward. So basically you are sort of playing a back four, a flat back four, because your full back is not going to give you much going forward. As such, you are blunt going forward. You're already not sending enough people forward because of Uhlanti, and then you are also not as effective by sending Ukunika to overlap, because sometimes know he's not comfortable on the ball, so they will press him out of and get the ball away from him. So it's not the problem Gakunik, but it's the problem Yoguti in the tactical setup, in what Chiefs is supposed to do, which is to send people forward, add numbers, quality numbers, not just quantity, but quality players who are going to be able to play the ball up front. You are limiting yourself by playing Uzit. And he didn't have a bad game. He was okay, but once again, going forward, one of the reasons we're losing the ball, when the ball gets to him, he can't really play the ball as well as you'd expect from Frosler or Solomons, who is quick, who can dribble past people. But both your natural right backs are not playing, and you are playing a makeshift right back. And I will say this again. Yes, Ukweneka played as a right back at some point in his career, but what system was he playing under, and which year was he playing in? Because you might have been a right back 10 years ago, but that doesn't mean you can play right back right now, because things have evolved. You look at keepers like about David De Gea, a wonderful shot stopper, but is not good enough for playing out from the back. As such, Manchester United have sold him and got a keeper like Andre Onana. It's all these things, Yoguti. Football is evolving, but Tina, we're going to hold on to our Waidlali right back. I don't think that makes any sense. Having said that, let me give our backline their own rating. So, starting with the keeper, once again, another solid performance. I saw some people trying to scapegoat Peterson once again and say, udlisile kanjani? Udlise kanjani? Abantu nje have pure hate for Peterson, and I'm accepting that. I'm going to stop trying to explain why he does things the way he does them, because he keeps on performing and they keep on talking. Anyways, I'll give Peterson for Saturday's performance a solid 7.5. Kweneka defensively was there, offensively not there. Who can blame him? It's not his game. 6.5. Msimango not Itlokwe, 6.5, both of them. Left back Uhlanti, he lets me down. Uhlanti Shem, he lets me down real, and he gets a 5. And then we go to our midfielders. Our midfield setup, once again, we see this thing that I've been saying, that people have been saying, hi Mpilo, ini. Castillo is not a defensive midfield. I said this and y'all didn't want to listen. Give Castillo a proper 6. Sibong Senimtetwa is there. performed against Chiefs, performed against Pirates. He was performing last season. He would be very solid to play as a 6 that will allow Castillo to go forward. He scores the goal because he's making a late run into the box. People are gonna say, Impilo, but defensive midfielders make runs forward. They do make runs forward. But look at Castillo, look at where he has been, where he has played. You will see ukuthi position yakhe, he has evolved over the years from playing as a number 6 to playing as a number 10 to playing as a number 8, around those areas, because coaches who have been coaching him have realized ukuthi Castillo, he's able and is more effective playing further up the field. So playing him as an 8 or a 10 allows him and gives him more freedom to affect the game up front, because touches are playing 1-2s and making those late runs into the box will make Chiefs very deadly, because he is going to add more goals into the team. He's going to add more physicality in the first line of press Kaizer Chiefs, rather than playing him so deep, because if he's playing as a deep and he's playing close to Matt, yes, kukhona ukuthi this weekend Matt was a bit deeper and that allowed Castillo to go forward, but at times Guayana, he would stay deep. Why? Because at times they just change, and then sometimes it's Matt going forward and sometimes it's Castillo going forward. If he has a number 6, a proper defensive midfield, then he will know he has freedom to go forward. He still has a defensive duty, because all midfielders, all players have a defensive duty in a team. But he knows that he is a number 8, he's a number 10, that's his primary role, affect the game up front, and then the rest of the things will fall into place. Because one of the reasons I don't like defending players, one of the reasons why Mdantsane is not playing so great is that he gets the ball, he's isolated. So Mdantsane, as a number 10 by nature, gets the ball, he turns. That's what he does. And look at Castillo, if he gets a ball and he turns, he's strong. He won't just be bullied out from the ball. We play him further up the field, and what it does is now he has Castillo alongside him. So he has a person he can play the ball to and then still make a run. See the goal that Modi scored. Modi has the ball, he plays it to Mdantsane. Mdantsane plays a 1-2 because there's someone close to him, and then takes the ball and then he scores. He created an assist because Mdantsane wants to get the ball and go forward. But all the time he loses the ball because he's trying to trap the ball, look for options up front. There's no one. It's just him or passing the ball back. And passing the ball back to Castillo, no matter, they're already closed down. So now he's isolated as a 10. Not defending Mdantsane. I just don't like when players get scapegoated to Guti. Yes, uzlisile. But look at the overall system. Why bonke abadlali mabe Chiefs kubangathi bayadlisa manje? Has to do with the coaching, because all players can't just be bad all of a sudden. It means there's something that's not going well. Ukuthi Mdantsane now is poor. Umat was brilliant kusekukune all along. Now he's bad when he's at Chiefs. Or Potsane, they are having minimal impact on the game. How giving him Simango sebenza ama mistake. How abantu sebephuisha uDitlokwe because he's kicking a ball a lot. How in wonke nje umuntu is not looking great. Why is that? Why is that? You get me? So it's all those things. Uguti. Yes, Mdantsane didn't have a good game and he was subbed, rightfully so, at halftime. And he gets a 5 because he didn't have a good game. Mati Castillo, very solid. And Umati, I give him a 6.5 for his defensive work. Castillo scores a goal and also making those runs, winning the ball back and doing all the good things. So for him, I'll also give him a 7.5. Seeing that I'm giving Castillo a 7.5, maybe I should take Ditlok and Simango to 7 updated ratings. Okay, now if we go to our front line consists of Upotsane, Utupri, and Umoti. The two of them really not effective because the ball is not getting to them. Upotsane and Umoti. So they have to track back all the time and mark. And at times, Umoti swaps with Utupri, plays as a 9, Utupri goes wide to collect the ball, or swaps with Upotsane, plays wide. Because in the middle, through the middle, Utupri wasn't doing anything. Because they bully him out of the ball. They bully him. It's not his fault. He's not the type of striker. He's not the striker who has to hold the ball and play with his back against the he's with himself facing away from goal. Dupree is a type of striker. You play the ball in front of him, takes people on, or he crosses the ball, or does whatever. If you're gonna play the ball to Dupree, mfishane bukumvala ungakanani Dupree. It's an impossible situation that you are asking him to be in. So whenever one of them was in the middle, you didn't see them because Sundowns packs their midfield. They are defending so narrow, or they have people who are narrows to force Chiefs to go wide. And when Chiefs does go wide, they are also quick to close them down. But I will say, Guti, it's even better when you actually go wide, because that's how we also got the goal. Because we're wide, and second half, by the way, Insegi tried to do that because we're now kicking the ball. And Gonzalez, we'll talk about him in a second, would move to the right, and they will play the ball to him, and he will head it down to the people behind him. And even when we scored the ball, we're on the right, we combine two passes, and since they are concentrated through the middle, we get the chance wide, we play the ball across, and then since they are now focusing in trying to move their players across, and then Castillo can move in, make that late run, and score the goal. So Sundowns through the middle, it's a no-go zone. So once again, playing a player like Dupree, who's supposed to be effective in the middle, is not going to help you. However, they tried their best, Shem, but yeah, Potsane, Modi, 6, Dupree always performs. He got an assist as well, because also for his defensive work, they will get a 6. They were not effective, Shem. Dupree will get a 7, defensive work, and he also did get an assist. Now we go to our subs. Gonzalez comes in and he does exactly what I was saying about Dupree. I think Gonzalez got in and he used his physicality, his height very well. Something that I was saying about Caleb Uguti. We didn't see Caleb using his height. Gonzalez immediately comes on, he's heading the balls down, playing the balls to the people about Dupree or the other people who are coming behind him. And all of those things were kind of working for him. So I will say Gonzalez now, for what he was asked to do, didn't have much impact on the game. So just a 6.5. And then the other people who did come on was Solomons. And I was actually shocked. Before Solomons came on, it was actually Frosler and Matlow. And the coach loves Matlow. We've seen this. It's clear. He brings on Matlow. Matlow likes hyping up the fans. He likes hyping up the fans. He had a game, right? It wasn't like a wow game. But what confuses me is that we're taking out Potsane, we're bringing in Frosler. Manak, if you're gonna bring on Frosler as a right winger, isn't Solomons a more suited player to play as a right winger? Because he's quicker than Frosler. Frosler is good, but Solomons is one who's more effective in that position because he can dribble past people. Aban Bazonpilo, you're a hypocrite. You just said Frosler should have started. Yeah, he should have started as a right back. But if you are gonna bring on someone who can defend but is also effective going forward, then bring on Solomons. Why are you bringing on Frosler? Because if you're going to bring on Frosler, Vele, it looked like Ukweneka was starting to struggle a bit. Then take both of them out. Take Frosler in, bring out Ukweneka, and then bring on Solomons for Upotan. No, we didn't do that. We bring on Frosler, who didn't have any impact in the game, which is clear. The coach was not bringing on Frosler for his creativity, but was bringing him on for defending. And that actually backfired on him because we then considered a goal. In that side, by the way, and there was no one pressuring the guy. I think it was Allende who crossed that ball, Umendieta who actually crossed that ball. So then bringing on Frosler as a defender at that position did not actually help. Well, by the way, I'm not saying it's Frosler's fault. I'm saying the goal was to defend, but we're still not defensively solid in any case. And then Frosler comes in. It's just a game. 6. Umatlow comes in. My idea is strength and supposed to calm down the game, and I will give it to him. He does win Chiefs fouls because he knows how to hold on to the ball and protect the ball and be fouled. So I will give him a 6 because of that. And then the other two subs that we had, which is the last two people, he brought on Solomons, who didn't play at all, and Ungobo for Mati. It was just there. And funny enough, what I find fun is that those guys came on after we considered the goal. So since we're able to make subs and change our minds, why did we not just bring on Usaile, who was on the bench, and Umtu? Because you can never know what you can get in the last 2 minutes. So why are you bringing on defensive players when you are actually the one who needs a goal? I'm just curious. But Tigenabo, they came on and they were like 3 minutes, so I can't give ratings for them. As for Unsegi, it's clear to me ukuthi Ozala Tumsan, it's clear to me ukuthi Unsegi is scared of Sundowns. He fears them, he respects them too much, and that kind of bums me out ukuthi how are we going to set up in the cup. Nangu Tumsani, can you say shout out to Tumsani who was cameramaning over there? Yeah.
Shout out. How's it, Khosi fans?
Ubuyo Kichimel Tumsani. But guys, we are there. What did you think of the game? Let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumo. Yeah.